Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is my Naomi episode 2 season 1, and thank you guys for following the channel. I've only picked up Naomi because I really believe strongly in this character. Having read the comics and having followed her through the Justice League, I really think this is something that they can develop with Ava DuVernay, and that's why I put my faith into the show. I could be reviewing other shows, but this is the one I chose to do because I really feel like we're going to get something out of this. So Naomi confronts Dee from the end of episode 1, who reveals himself to be Thangarian. We see the wings and Dee talking about his rare metal. Now, it's a shame they didn't go into much detail about it, but then again, that's why I'm here, as a source of information. Now, the metal that his wings are made of is called Nth Metal. Nth Metal to DC is kind of what adamantium and vibranium is to Marvel. Now, Nth Metal is extremely strong and durable. The difference between Nth Metal in DC is that it has magical properties, giving someone equipped with it the ability to fly, increased strength, accelerated healing. Now, Nth Metal also has psychoconductivity, where the user can partially control the metal with their mind. So that's how things kind of work, and also it's how his wings work. So for Marvel fans, I guess we can take adamantium out of the picture and compare it more in line with Uru metal. Now, Uru metal, guys, is the compound used to make Thor's hammer, which takes to being enchanted exceptionally well. Now, Nth Metal turns a Thangarian into a superhuman and protects them. So I'm not sure why they didn't explain this, but maybe they're saving it for a later time down the road. Now, Naomi establishes its own unique universe right from the first episode, and we got the confirmation in episode 2 that Superman is indeed real. But another piece of information that they haven't uncovered is who he was fighting. Now, in the comics, it was Mogul, a villain. He's one of the few who can physically challenge Superman and the ruler of an alien world called Warworld. This could open up a lot down the road that the comics really never got the chance to. In this episode, it was easily better than the first. It plays out on the balance of those kids' mysteries. Remember, guys, the Goonies, Super 8, and of course, DC's Stargirl. Although it's not at the level of Stargirl yet, Naomi's starting to come into its own. Now, the episode starts when she enlists her friends to dig deeper into the mystery surrounding the unexplained occurrences in Puerto Rico, and whether they have anything to do with her past, since Dee has now told her that she's an alien. The jumping off the bridge thing reminded me of Neo from The Matrix, believing he's the one, and finally accepting their place in the world. You are never really anything until you believe you are. Something that the Oracle had set for Neo. So with Naomi, it kind of plays out in that way as we see as the episode ends. Does it make Naomi a Mary Sue? Well, I've seen some reports of it, but maybe. Because she's been changing long before this series started, she made that clear in episode 1 when she talked to her mum about wearing glasses and not needing them anymore. In this episode, she doesn't wear them at all, but the setup was there. Also, she's a Superman fangirl. That just realised a lot of her comic books are actually real. So it's not hard for her to really buy into who she is. The crash site in 2004 has given her enough proof. So I wouldn't say she's a Mary Sue. Puberty started to really form itself in many young metahumans or aliens, including a young Clark Kent. Remember, guys, when he was younger, he didn't have the ability to fly. So maybe she's been having these things happening to her whole life and she didn't realise it. After all, Dee kept saying to her, have you ever broken a bone? Have you ever had an injury? So a lot of her development and these things have been happening to her for quite a long time, and it's only then that she's really got to sort of put 2 and 2 together and thought to herself, actually, maybe I am something special, because she's realised all these things that have been happening into her for her whole lives. So I talked about young teenage mystery shows. Interesting that this one doesn't feel like a normal superhero show. It almost feels like Nancy Drew, Stranger Things, and sort of early Riverdale series. And that can only be a good thing for engaged viewers. If this show is about Naomi and her friends solving mysteries, having relationship problems, and facing off against big bad individuals, then sign me up. Zambadu can certainly talk a big baddie game, but there seems to be a brief moment on his face when they were in the warehouse at the crash site, where it looked like he was actually concerned for Naomi and really wanted to help protect her. Now, in the comics, he killed her father. And watching it with my son said to me, maybe he's her father. And for me, that would be a great twist, and one that the writers can use to shape this series into something new. As we haven't reached that point yet where this is very different from the comics. For me, kind of still on the rails. The only issue I have with Zambadu and Dee is that they haven't actually interacted yet. Maybe Zambadu doesn't know about Dee, but Dee definitely knows all the aliens that's on Earth through his abilities being able to feel wavelengths using his Thangarian wings, which is something I thought was a really nice touch, seeing the vibrations in the multiverse. Now, Naomi's parents are very suspicious to me. The way they're making out to be so perfect, and I'm sure that's not the setup that they wanted, but the mum is definitely hiding something. Maybe not the dad, because clearly he didn't know there was aliens from his meeting with the Army Command. The only thing I dislike about the show at the moment is this silly love triangle. I've never seen a show where the lead character has 3 concurrent love interests right from the start. Like, none of them even grew into it. It's just like right from the bat, she's got all these people that's running over her. And I talked about it last week, but this week there was kind of more of it. And she's done nothing except for lead them on, as we saw when she cancelled the pizza date but said, yeah, it's something we might do another time. So to me, she's kind of leading them on at the same time, and she shouldn't be doing that. I believe they'll likely get rid of that in the show because the reactions out there from the viewers isn't great when it comes to this type of triangle of romance. And it's a shame about Nathan, because out of the 3, he seems to be more suited to Naomi, but yet she dumped him, and we don't know the reasons why. Then she had the nerve to plan the 2 of them were supposed to spend some time together working on the school project, only for her to forget about that plan, and then she made separate plans with other friends and forgot about him. If I was Nathan, I'd leave that relationship pronto. Being that he's the best looking character in the show, I'm sure that he wouldn't suffer finding another person who respects him. But for me, guys, a much improved episode 2, giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. The world building continues. Thanagar is a fairly important planet in the DC universe. And if it was down to me right now as a writer, I would turn things around. And I would make Zambadu the hero mentor and Dee the villain. I definitely like Naomi herself. She's got some acting range to her, unlike the Supergirl character Melissa Benoit, who really didn't have any. But this girl's got range. But they need to drop one of those 3 love interests. One of them, for me, guys, has got to go. And then they have to pay off Superman. Despite having the biggest Superman fan site, Naomi doesn't even quite believe that he's real. No one else really believes he's real, and the army doesn't know he's an alien. But Dee has fought with him in some war somewhere before this. Overall, guys, Naomi is a light-hearted, fun show. She's gorgeous, likable, smart, and she's funny. Add in the mysteries, and this show could really take off. So if you're not watching it, guys, get on the bandwagon, check it out for yourself. There's 2 episodes. The second one is better than the first, but I'm hoping that this will continue to grow. Guys, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.